I had quite a few people ask me to see a video on cleaning Ella's bird cage. And as you guys know, I do have a lot of pets, so I tend to take shortcuts with cleaning. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a good shortcut, as long as, oh, we might get to see her have a bird bath first, which is so cute. But I don't think there's anything wrong with shortcuts as long as it's not harming your pet, because it allows you to spend more time with your pets and less time cleaning. So today is cage cleaning day, and in the spring, summer, fall months, what I do is I take Ella out of her cage first. She's got the whole kitchen to play in while I'm cleaning. So she's just got some seed and some toys on the kitchen table, and then where her bird cage was, I've actually just put her play gym so that she can fly to that if she feels she needs to. The cats, of course, are all locked up so that they can't get to her. So here is her cage. I will do a cage tour after it's all clean, but the first thing we're going to do is take off the bottom and just dump everything that's in the bottom into a garbage bag. Sorry, Ella's super worked up. She hates the sound of bags, and I just opened a garbage bag, so she's going nuts. So this is a Vision cage. I can't remember the exact model. I think it was a Vision 2. It's quite a large one, but it just has these clips on either end that you just pop up, and that's how we're going to lift the cage off of the base. So now we just want to get rid of all of this muck. And there's actually, this is part of one of her favorite toys, so I'm going to keep these, but I am obviously going to soak that seashell because it's covered in birdie poop. And that can go outside. And with this, all you do is you just lift up the grate. Yesterday's lettuce. Jeez, Ella. Okay. All you do is you lift up the grate, and then there's everything underneath. So birds are particularly messy little things, and I do give her dishes a quick rinse and change everything every morning. As you can see, there's some lettuce and such in that one. So all I do is I let everything soak for a little bit, and then I scrub it, and I usually try to time this around the time I need to run the dishwasher, because what I'll do is just give her temporary dishes and actually put everything through the dishwasher so it gets it nice and clean. That's just that shell. I just popped it in there so it'll loosen up the poop. So, yes! What is it? What do you have to tell me, Beep? Hey, my little goose? What are you so upset about? We're going to make your house nice and pretty. Yeah. So, what I was going to say before about shortcuts is in the warmer months when the hose is actually hooked up outside, what I do is I remove Ella. Please, if you're going to do this, remove your bird first, because this would cause your bird a lot of injury. But what I do is I just bring everything outside and I hose it down on the jet setting so that it's strong enough to just kind of burst off all the poop. And then I give it a quick rub down. I do it on a sunny day, so I leave the cage outside just for a little bit to kind of air dry, and then again I just rub it down with some paper towel and I bring it back inside, and that's how I clean the cage. And you have to be careful with birds because they're so sensitive about what kind of cleaners and things you use. So that's why for the most part I don't usually use anything. I might spritz everything a little with a vinegar water solution, but that's about it. Hi! Are you enjoying your perch now? Are you going to be a good birdie while I go clean out your cage? Yeah, I love you. you crazy goose. So in the winter months, this takes me probably close to an hour because I have to individually take out pretty much everything, let it soak so that the bird poop loosens, and then scrub it all down. This way it takes me like 10-15 minutes because I just hose everything off of it and it's great. So it means less cleaning for me, which is always a bonus. Okay, so now I'm literally just gonna spray everything down. Okay, so that literally took maybe 5 minutes, and now I'm just gonna wipe everything down really well and let it sit out here and dry for a little bit. So the only other thing that I should just mention quickly is if you have any toys that are a little more delicate, I would remove them before you hose it down because the jet on the hose setting is pretty strong and you wouldn't want to break them. But as you can see, poop is gone, and it only took me a couple minutes. And look, I was a little worried because I didn't see her right away, but she was hanging out on her perch. Are you on your window perch? Yeah. So you managed to stay out of trouble. There's her cage drying out there and the grate, and I've just got the tray right there. So that's kind of the lazy man's way of cleaning a bird cage, but hey, if it saves me some time, I'm all for it. Okay, so now I'm just going to deal with all of these, and I'm just going to give them a quick scrub down and throw the dishes into the dishwasher. Okay, so see how much cleaner they are already? I only soaked them. I was out there maybe 10 minutes cleaning the cage, and in that time the stuff soaked up, just soaked in some warm water, and then all the poop loosens up and you can scrub it. This I had brought outside, but it's right under where she perches at night, so it was especially bad, so I brought it in and gave it a quick wash. But it doesn't take very long. I'm putting them through the dishwasher, just the dishes, just so that they get nice and clean. But normally I just kind of quickly wash them out every morning. So in the winter months, that's what I usually do with all her perches and toys and everything, is I just fill up a basin with hot water and let them soak for a bit and then scrub all of the poop off of them. Because if you think about it, birds in the wild, they're up nesting high in a tree, and when they eat or poop, they just, you know, they poop downwards, so the poop's not in their nesting area, or they're just throwing their food off to the side. So that's why birds are very messy as pets, because of course we don't have them free range around the house all the time. We've got them in a cage, so that poop and food and everything has to go everywhere. But the hose method is also really good if you've let your bird have a special treat and then it's dried on the sides of the cage. So Ella's favorite thing is raspberries, and in the middle of winter, without thinking about it, I gave her a couple raspberries before going to work. Well, when I came home, her entire cage was covered in little bits of raspberry that she had thrown everywhere, and of course, in that 8 hours, it had all dried and caked on the cage, and what a nightmare it was to scrub it all down, whereas in the summer months, it wouldn't be such a big deal because I would just use the jet setting on the hose and just kind of power wash it off. Hey, baby. So we're going to wait a little longer. I'm going to hang out with Ella, and then we'll bring her cage back in. Oh, the other thing that I did, Yes. The other thing that I did was after washing it, I just kind of used some paper towel to just kind of quickly wipe it down just so that it wasn't soaking, like dripping wet, just so that to help it dry a little faster. And what I'll do is when I go back outside is just kind of do that again so that it's dry when we bring it back into the house. What is it? What is it? Is there a bell in there? Get it, Ella. Oh, you're so ferocious. Okay, so it's only been about 15-20 minutes, but it is so flippin' hot out today. It's probably about, I'm gonna say at least 30 degrees Celsius and humid and sunny. So it didn't take very long for this to dry. I did go over it again with just a bit of paper towel before bringing it in, but I really didn't need to because it's so hot it just dried everything out really quick. So the only thing, as you can see, look how dry that rope is. So there is some rope that is still a little wet, but that'll dry. It's not a big deal. The main part of the cage is all dry. So now all I have to do is put the bedding into the base of the cage. This is corncob bedding. I'll show you what it looks like. It's these little granular pieces, if it'll focus. There you go. So this is corncob bedding. I believe it's by KT. It's a pretty cheap bedding, so that's why I use it for Ella. But I wouldn't recommend using it for any other small pets, even though it is on... Sorry, I just thought you guys would want to look at Ella. Because even though it's got other small pets listed or shown on the front of the bedding, I don't think it's very good for them. If they ingested it, I don't think that it would break down, which could be especially dangerous for really small animals like hamsters. And the other thing is, once it gets wet, it molds really fast, and then it smells awful. So it's okay for Ella because she's such a small bird, and there's a grate in between where I put the bedding and where she has access, so there's no way that she can get to it. But I definitely wouldn't recommend it for other small pets. I think that Once Upon a Pig did kind of a review on this bedding because she had bought it for her small pets and found the same thing. So I'm just going to fill up the bottom of the cage with the corncob bedding and put the grate on and attach it to the rest of her cage. I've just got a few things to add back in, like her ladder, and then I'll give you guys a cage tour. Hi, baby. Hello. Are you happy that your cage is back? Hey, are you happy your cage is back? You pretty birdie. It's a pretty bird.